Sunshine filters in through the dusty windows of the estate as the dull aches of last night's activities throb in and out of focus. You manage to survive a second night in the town of Scarlet Hollow. Barely. As you pull yourself out of bed, you can feel the soot and grime of the Shaw mine still stuck to your skin. You didn't shower? You got in a mine cave-in and you didn't shower before? Alright. Oh, take a shower. Never mind, you can shower. Anyways, yeah. I'm not going out to town with covered in soot. You step into the guest bathroom and into the shower. The water is hot and, surprisingly enough, clean. As steam fills your lungs and soot washes down the drain, you think about Sybil's warning. Maybe, perhaps prepare myself for whatever could happen. You're done here. You turn off the faucet and dry yourself off. Time to start your day. You can only imagine how beautiful the garden must have been in its heyday. A different you might have been taken away by this view, drifting into fantasies about how you might have tidied it up and enjoyed tea by the fountain. But a lot has happened since you first arrived into town. Turn back. Come back to the guest room, check the closet. Oh, that's... How long were you going to have slept in this room without realizing you shared this space with that doll? Hopefully it doesn't get up and move while you're not around. Yeah. Hell no. I'm not touching that. Some things are best left untouched. You close the closet behind you. Message the group chat. You pull out your phone and open your group chat with Sally and Kaneko. Morning, how are you guys holding up? It'll probably be a bit before you get a response. Text Stella. Pull out your phone to text Stella. Wanna hang out before you start ghost hunting? Probably be a bit before you get a response. Text Nico. More things with smiles. Ask a different thing with each one of the options. It'll probably be a bit before you get a response. Fair enough. Head downstairs. You enter the kitchen to find your cousin in the midst of devouring a pint of banana chocolate chunk. She isn't alone. Frou-Frou glares at you from her usual spot on the counter as a red-headed woman busies herself trying to tidy as best as she can. Vile woman, destroying the natural order of my kitchen. Tabitha's gaze swivels from the woman to you, her glare intensifying. Hi, Tabitha. Still not happy with me after last night? I assume. Let's greet Frou-Frou first. Bonjour. Sacre bleu. I don't know if I said that fucking right. Do not think you can just bonjour me just because I slept at the foot of your bed last night. I still despise you. Sure. Alright, fair enough. 3 humans at once. This is abhorrent. Your stink will linger here for hours. How am I to bear it? I see. Talking to my cat again. Are you sure you didn't get hit on the head last night? Right, she doesn't know I can talk to animals. You don't say good morning to your pets? I always make sure to talk to my farm cats and alpaca like they're people. To me, they kind of are. I assume you're the cleaning person, considering you're cleaning. I don't remember what Tabitha said your name was. Hi. Good morning, I'm Janie. Just here to do my little weekly cleaning. Right, Janie. Whatever cleaning Miss Tabitha will let me do, at least. I could have this place looking brand new, you know. Don't go making any big renovations, or moving anything around. I like knowing where my stuff is. Okie dokie. It's so nice to finally meet you, Lily. I mean, I guess I did meet you on Monday when you popped into the diner. Janie? But seeing someone somewhere and meeting them face to face are two different. two completely different things, I suppose. Thanks. All I'm trying to say is that's wonderful to finally actually meet you, and I'm so happy part of the family tree is here to keep Miss Tabitha company, what with everything that's... Janie. Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Tabitha. Am I being too much again? Tabitha grumbles in acknowledgement. Hey Tabitha, how's it going? The little girl from last night. Apparently they had to take her foot. Oh, fuck. Jesus Christ. I didn't think it was gonna be like obviously it was a bad injury, but I didn't think that was what was gonna end up happening. Damn. Tabitha takes one last spoonful of ice cream, then discards the empty container, turning to you with her trademark scowl. Let's get going. I've got an errand to run in town, and every time I've left you here alone, something terrible's wound up happening. So you're coming with me. Fair enough, I guess. Hold on, you can't just tell me Rosalind lost a foot and move on like nothing happened. Just because something terrible happened to someone, it doesn't mean that life doesn't go on. Life has to go on, and let me assure you that what happened to that poor girl weighs heavily on my mind. Now shall we go, or would you rather keep bombarding me with guilt for something I had nothing to do with? Let me say. Given your track record, if I let you out of my sight, you'd probably just disappear into the wilderness, only to return in the middle of the night after burning down City Hall. Janie, lock up when you leave, please, and don't go rearranging anything. I'll know. As you're ready to leave, Janie approaches from the far side of the kitchen. Tabitha remains between the two of you, impatiently tapping her foot. Oh, Lilac, before you go, I heard about what happened last night. I heard about it before Miss Tabitha mentioned it just now, and then I heard it again. I just wanted to say that I'm so sorry you got caught up in that. I'll be praying for Oscar and poor little Rosalina. They're such sweethearts. Couldn't have happened to nicer people. Thanks, last night was a lot. If you ever need to talk to anyone, my husband is the local pastor. He's a gentleman and always willing to lend an ear. He's actually been going a little stir-crazy ever since we moved here, what with nobody really attending sermons. It'd probably do him a lot of good to talk you through your worries. I'll thank her for the offer at least, whether or not I choose if I have the option to. Of course, he's always ready and willing to talk to people, so feel free to stop by the church anytime. The door's always open. I did clean this place. I don't really ask myself that sort of question. It's a job, I get paid, and of course I've known the family for a while, so it seemed like a decent thing to do to make a little extra money. Plus, maybe one of these days she'll let me really spruce up the place. Can you imagine it back at its full glory? It'd be a lot of work, but what a project. Keep dreaming, Janie. Enough dawdling, we're leaving. Oh damn, didn't even get to pick one of the non-explorer options. Alright. You and Tabitha walk through the doors of the estate and into her car. The ride to town is uneventful, your cousin's unsurprisingly more focused on the road than on making conversation. Alright, we're just popping into the general store for a few minutes. After everything that's happened the past 2 days, it's nice to just go on an errand. Just say that. Exactly. You and Tabitha turn as the door to the general store bursts open. A flustered Kanika exits, shouting behind her. Fine, okay, keep coddling him. Keep letting him get away with stuff you never would have let me so much as think about. I'm sick of carrying this family. Kanika storms out, the door slowly drifting shut behind her. Ugh, other people and their drama. If more people kept things to themselves, they'd be a lot happier. Kinka's really going through it. It's unbecoming. Come on already, let's go. The bells of the general store chime as you cross the threshold. The smells of old wood and steamy herbal tea flood your senses, making you feel instantly at home. Good morning, you two. Hope you're doing well after last night's activities. Morning. Is the new blend ready? Of course. Lilac, if you'd like to keep Miles company, Tabitha and I will be just a minute. Is Kanika okay? Of course, she just needs some time to cool down. Emotions are a little high considering everything that happened yesterday. She'll settle down soon enough. I'm just glad both of my little ones made it out okay. Civil emotions for Tabitha to follow, and they both disappear into the tea room, closing the door behind them with a tinkling of bells. Chat with Miles. So, Miles, before you can finish your thought, you're halted by the tinkling of bells announcing another patron. Oh, excuse me. Wait, you're Lilac, aren't you? My name is Bo. I'm Duke's boy. It's a pleasure to meet you. Okay. The policeman told me what you saw happen to my daddy. I'm so sorry for your loss. Thank you. The policeman said he might just be out hunting somewhere, but me and my mama both know he ain't coming back. Mom's pretty broken up about it. I'm trying to hold it together since I'm the man of the house now, but it ain't easy. Me and him was supposed to bring Big Betty to the state fair this week, but now he's gone, and as of this morning, so is she. So I suppose if I'm not going to the fair, I may as well make myself useful and get out in the woods to look for what's left of my daddy. He was there, right? Could you tell me where to look so I can try to find him? It's dangerous out there. I wouldn't go poking around. I ain't a stranger to what these hills have to offer. Daddy always said I wouldn't have nothing to fear, so long as I learned how to use my fists, so he taught me how to do all that. Fair? Those woods still get scary sometimes, but I reckon there's no better way to show my daddy I've learned those lessons, than to go out there and find him. Is Big Betty one of your chickens? No, she ain't chicken. Big Betty is our pride pumpkin. She was a big lady too. I'd expect she was at least 2,000 pounds. Not too easy to move something like that. Could be she rolled off down a hill, but I can't be looking for her just yet, what with everything else going on. Your dad was killed by ditchlings. They're the things that have been stealing your chickens. They're monsters that show up and something bad is going to happen, and they're things that have been stealing chickens. I ain't never heard of a ditchling before, but whatever they are, they won't stop me from trying to find them. You see anything strange that's found the past couple of days? Not really, no, but I've been awful busy with everything that's still been happening. Some chickens keep disappearing, though. He died on the northwest edge of town, off the Esquina Trail. Thank you, Lilac. I appreciate you trying to help us out. I don't rest easy knowing he's out there somewhere all by himself. And please tell Miss Scarlet I'm sorry about her mama. Tabitha and Sybil are still in the tea room. Your phone buzzes. Oh my god, hey, I overslept. I'm still at Still gotta make myself breakfast. Meet at the library after and figure out plan. And then it buzzes again. Hey again, Elo. If you want to come over for breakfast, would honestly love to hang out. And then it buzzes again. Somebody was busy this morning. Sliding into the DMs, are we? If you want to hang out before the library thing, I'm parked in the abandoned lot by the gas station. It's hard to miss. I have plenty of time before dinner at Reese's house. See, Tabitha's not going to be very happy if I don't wait for her, considering she wanted me to come with for this. But also, I want to... I want to swing by Stella's. Sorry, Tabitha. It doesn't take long to make your way to Stella's house. Yell. Hi, Stella! Knock on the door. I'll knock on the door. Politely knock on Stella's door. There's no answer. You knock again, louder this time. Your renewed effort is immediately met by the yelps of an excited Gretchen. She's here, Stella. She's here. An exhausted Stella groggily stares at you from her doorway. Hey, sorry, I'm a bit of a mess. I guess I slept in a lot. Give me a minute to finish getting dressed, and I can make us some breakfast. Geez, she does look way more tired than the past couple of chapters. Stella talks from the other room as she changes. What are you feeling for breakfast? Pancakes, eggs, and biscuits? Maybe just pancakes, eggs, and biscuits. Maybe just a classic scramble? I also have toaster waffles if that's more your speed. I may have already had my breakfast, but that won't stop me from partaking in whatever scraps may fall to the floor, of course. Who's the explorer option? Huh, maybe. I never said they'd be as good as Winnie's, but I've certainly got a trick or two up my sleeve. Alright then, let's see what you've got. Biscuits it is. Excellent, you won't be disappointed. We can even make them together. I used to have a jumpsuit just like Stella's, but I'm afraid mine has been torn to shreds from years of use. Alright, let's get started. It's a cute jumpsuit. Most certainly is, isn't it? Oh, thanks. I kind of picked it out just for you. Okay, that worked. Nice. This used to be my lucky getup from back when I did ghost hunting videos. Though I guess you might call it unlucky, since I've never actually seen a ghost. But hey, after the past couple of nights, maybe we could use a bit of bad luck. The kind of bad luck where we don't find anything, of course. Don't want to jinx us. Should we start on food? I'm starving. Yeah, let's do it. You'll have to tell me what to do. Remain silent. Yeah, let's do it. Biscuits from scratch seem to intimidate a lot of people, but once you get it down, they're super quick and easy. I love every time Gretchen's in a scene, she just stares directly at the camera. It's very funny. The way that her face is always drawn is very funny. She's just peeking over the text box. How about you mix the butter into the dry ingredients while I get everything else ready? She hands you a bowl. You gotta get in there with your hands. Just squish the butter into flour. Just squish the butter into the flour until all the big chunks are gone. I'm gonna give my character some biscuit making experience. Excellent. Always good to have someone experienced helping out in the kitchen. With the two of us working together, maybe these will be as good as the diner's biscuits. I've never quite been able to compete with that level of perfection on my own. Where's that mix? You get to work and start kneading the mix. I'll get started on the gravy while you're at it. Anyway, seems like you got an earlier start than I did today. Anything interesting happen while I was asleep? Did Tabby give you a hard time? And have you heard anything from Oscar? Met Bo at the general store this morning. That poor guy, how's he doing? Apparently Big Betty's gone missing. Really? How did a 2,000-pound pumpkin just disappear? Top Thumb found Duke's body. He says he wants to look himself. Gosh, that sounds dangerous. I hope he stays safe. Tabitha was planning on babysitting me all day, but I managed to sleep while she was picking up Tia. I'm glad you're here. It's been really nice spending time with you, even if a lot of it has been the two of us running in terror from the monster of the day. I personally prefer that you came alone. My Stella could use better company like yourself in her life. I don't talk to Austria, but apparently they had to amputate Rosalina's foot. The color drains from Stella's face. Oh no. Oh, that poor pup. I hope I made things easier. Stella stands in silence for a moment before perking up. I baked some cookies last night after we got home. I was a little restless. I'll bring them over today. I'm not sure what else I can even do. Though, cleansing this house of its spiritual resident will probably be helpful too. Cleansing his house of this, not this house. Hope you haven't forgotten about our ghost hunting plans this evening. How are you still so positive after everything that's happened? I feel like she isn't positive after everything that's happened. She's putting on a face of being positive, but she's clearly getting more exhausted with each day. She clearly isn't handling everything well. Which is, yeah, understandable, but, yeah. But I guess, yeah, like, maybe my character hasn't realized that yet. Maybe asking her this would be able to, like, basically ask, hey, are you doing okay? Like, different people cope in different ways. That's fair. And there's nothing we can do about the situation, so I just try not to think about it. If I did, I might sink into a pit of despair, and then I'd just be useless. They just took it all away. I can be there for people who need me. You know, like the way you've been there for me. Out here in Cold Town, Appalachia, yeah, I had a feeling. I don't think there are any therapists in town. Stella laughs. No, but I've got my system, and it's worked for me so far. She pauses for a moment. So, ghost hunting, are you pumped? Oh, yeah. I'm extremely pumped. If there's a ghost, I hope it tries to communicate with us instead of scare us. I would like to know what it's like to be dead, or if there are more ghosts out there. And hey, if this is anything like any other ghost hunt I've been on, it'll be a much appreciated breather. Unless you count Tommyknockers as ghosts. Or rain. Well, if y'all are excited, you count me in on the enthusiasm. How's the squishing coming along? I think I'm done. How's this look? Phil reaches over and takes the bowl from you. Looks perfect. Now I just have to add the wet stuff and we're in business. If you want to go ahead and wash your hands, I can take care of the rolling and folding. You wash your hands as Stella adds her milk concoction to the flour mixture, stirring a few times before turning to the counter for the final steps. Our little babies are ready to go in the oven. And if you don't mind, I'm going to make an egg for myself while we wait. Can I have eggs too? Of course, the more the merrier. Hope you like over easy. Stella cracks an egg into a fresh pan and gets back to work on the stove. Thanks for coming over, by the way. It gets lonely here sometimes. Tried to hear her say it, but it's true. It's so nice to finally see her have a caller again. Yeah, this one's fun. Wasn't that a most fascinating prospect? What would I even have to say? About what? You know, that's an extremely generous offer, but I don't know if I want to pass my relationship with my dog through a translator. It's definitely not that I don't trust you. We've only known each other for a few days, and you already mean a lot to me. It's just, I almost wonder if diving into this too deeply would permanently change my relationship with her. If the weekends then you go home, and I've grown too reliant on her powers, what if things don't go back to normal with her? Fair. I definitely want to hear her input on current events. I just don't know if I want to rewrite everything else. I must admit that after hearing her thoughts, I very much feel the same way. I can't imagine permanently changing something so fundamental to my relationship with my dear Stella. I know, that's probably wild coming from your resident supernatural hunting friend, but Gretchen holds a special place in my heart. And you and mine, Stella. Sorry, Tabitha's kind of a jerk to you. I mean, she's probably like that with everyone, but still, I'm sorry. I don't think that's true. She's just unsure and kind of tense, but I think that's just her way of joshing with me. Like the whole band from the mine thing. She's so funny. Look at this one. She treats everyone like that. I'm just more persistent. If everyone backed off when Tabitha acted prickly around them, she'd be entirely cut off from the rest of the world. Besides, it's not like everyone treats me like that. I've got you, for instance. I am curious about her history with Tabitha. Okay, I guess I can spill the beans. Suppose you could say we kind of dated. I had a feeling, judging by the way she kind of, talked about her past closeness with Tabitha. It was never really official, and she might tell it a little differently, but as far as I'm concerned, that was my first relationship. Not that she's my type or anything. Honestly, that's a lot closer to you. You still have feelings for her? In case I haven't made it blindingly obvious, I'm interested in someone else. Let's reciprocate. Yeah? Well, if that's the case, maybe I'll have to make a move before someone else snatches her up. What was it like dating her? She's hilarious. And, I don't know, it's hard to explain. What draws you to somebody. I like the challenge of breaking down all those walls she built up around herself. It was kind of like taming a wild animal, you know? But it all just kind of stopped after high school. I guess we didn't see each other every day, and she was always busy at the mine, so there wasn't much of a chance to hang out anymore. I wish we could have stayed friends. Like, actual friends. I could have used someone like her after the big accident. Big accident. I am curious, because that seems to be related to her fear of cars. Curious if we're going to learn more about that. Wait, did I not read that? I don't know if I read that one out. Kanika was at school already, Reese was sick, and Tabitha wouldn't even return my calls. It was, well, it's ancient history. Can't change the past. You think you'll always live here? Have you ever thought of moving away? It's hard to say. This house means a lot to me. This town means a lot to me. And I haven't had to think about where to live or go. But I guess I could see myself leaving for the right reasons. Or for the right person. Aw. What happened to your parents? Can you guess? I'm curious, but also I don't know if she would want to talk about that. I'll ask them about their stuff first, and then I can maybe circle back to this one. You and Kanika seem really close. Yeah, it's nice that she's back in town, but I wish it were under better circumstances. She's so busy with the store, too. I don't know how she does it. It's been nice hanging out with her more the past couple of days. Though again, better circumstances would be nice. So, we're actually gonna meet Reese today, right? Heck yeah, we are. If Dr. Kelly tries to turn us away again, we can just sneak in. Nothing will stand in the way of us in friendship. What's he like? I'm not about to ruin a cool and mysterious introduction by telling you. I think you'll like him, though. You know what? Fair enough. Keep the surprise. Are you sure he's real? His mom's got it rough. Yeah, I can't imagine being in her shoes. Her life is taking care of him at this point, you know? So it does, yeah, it sounds like his conditions have been getting worse, presumably. Are you sure he's real? This one's funny. At the very least, he was real for most of his childhood. And if he's a ghost now, that's even better. You can tell us what being a ghost is like. Leave it at that. What happened to your parents? Maybe not the best question to ask. Celitensis. Car crash. They were talking to me about okay. Or they were taking me to college. Yeah, okay, so that's her fear of cars. And that's what the accident was. I had a feeling, considering there was a question, what happened to your parents, and she mentioned some sort of accident. She had the fear of cars. That's why she has a fear of cars. I didn't wind up going to college. Not much more to be said. So sorry, Phil. It's okay. It happened. Nothing we can do about that. We talk about something else. Okay, so maybe it would have been better to pick that last one. It means a lot to me that you care. I don't really like talking about this. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Do you ever hang out with Avery? Oh, that's a good question. I guess I just don't know them very well. I grew up with Reese and Kanika and Tabby. Even you don't seem like a stranger. What with who you're related to. Avery moved her a few years ago. Kind of close on the heels of all that stuff with the assistant. So I guess I wasn't really in the right headspace. Or with the accident. So I guess I wasn't really in the right headspace for making new friends. I do go to their parties. But now that you mention it, it is weird that I haven't thought to try and hang out with them outside of that. I should text them sometime. I wonder if we're going to get a hangout with Avery at some point. I would be interested to get to know them better. How's the food coming? My timer goes off and still excited pops open the oven, pulling out a tray of delectable biscuits. Funny you should ask. Looks like we're done here. And with that, breakfast is served. If the two of you wouldn't mind saving me just a couple of scraps, that meal smells absolutely delectable. Oh yeah, that's a fresh biscuit, alright. Still not as good as the diners, but if I could capture that kind of perfection, there would be no mountains left for me to conquer. Better to have the thrill of a challenge. I'm so glad you came over today. I've been having a little bit of a hard time sleeping the past couple of nights. I'm sure you can relate. I think I needed a nice slow morning like this, just hanging out with you. As you and Stella start to dig in, you're interrupted by a phone alarm sounding off. Oh, shoot, I almost forgot. It's Mayor Jimmy Day. If they're even still doing it after last night. I wonder how far the news has spread. Either way, it's a good excuse to meet up with Oscar and see how Rosalina's doing. Gretchen scoffs at the mention of Mayor Jimmy. Mayor my rear end, I certainly never voted for him. Gretchen says she didn't vote for him. I love the talk to animals options. They're always so fun. Gretchen says she didn't vote for. I think that's the most fun option. Well, of course she didn't. Gretchen's a dog. Dogs can't vote. Stella falls silent. Maybe they should, though. I mean, yeah, they... Especially now that I know they can talk. Sort of. How does that even work? Little paw prints? Never mind. I'm getting ahead of myself. Gretchen should be allowed to vote. Let's finish up and head on over. I'll make sure to bring some biscuits for the mayor. Biscuits? I can't believe Stella's bringing the good stuff for that lowlife. Gretchen doesn't seem to like Mayor Jimmy very much. No need to let Stella. I already kind of did let her know. In a past chapter, I thought I remembered telling her that Gretchen didn't seem very excited about the mayor. No need to let Stella know Gretchen's thoughts on the matter. Shall we? Spend some quality time with Stella. You and Stella make your way to the library. It's busier than usual. A small crowd has already formed in a corner of the main foyer. Now we're just waiting on Kanika. Oh, there she is. Thank God we have something to do this morning. My family's been driving me nuts. Yes, the whole gang's here. I've been waiting to introduce Lilac to the mayor for, like, the entire time I've known her. I've never gotten to introduce someone to the mayor before. It'll be worth it, trust us. Alright, shall we? He's a dog. I had a feeling. I remember... Gretchen looks fucking pissed. The fucking sash. I think that's what it's called. The sash around him with Mayor Jimmy. I had a feeling I remembered that being mentioned, like, is the mayor a dog in one of the past chapters? I think that was chapter 1, literally. I think that was around, like when we met Stella out on the sidewalk. It's really funny. The fucking bodyguard. Oh my god. The little hat. Oh my god. Ugh. He's a dog. You could tell this dog is the mayor from his little leash, or little sash, and his fancy top hat. There's a regal air about him, almost as if he knows the position of authority he's been elected to. Oh my god, this is the best fucking bit the game has done. The fucking serious music. And unless you're mistaken, the serious man by his side is Deputy Franklin, one of the policemen you spoke to following your encounter in the woods on Monday. The mayor's little nose starts twitching as you approach. His doggy eyes shine with a curious intensity. What have you got? You've got something. Something wet and nutty. Oh, I should give him the boiled peanuts. Offer him a cake. Oh my god. gonna save first. I'm just gonna save because this is fucking amazing. This is the best. This is the best bit that the game has had. Fucking dog mayor. How serious the game is playing this. Now for my campaign contribution. You hold out your now slightly rancid. The mayor's nose switches eagerly at the strong odor, and then he's on them in a flash, ripping through the plastic and devouring the soft-shelled legumes. Drop it, sir, drop it. His security detail tries to tear him away, but it's too late. The peanuts are already eaten. That was the perfect use of the peanuts. Thank you for the generous campaign donation. You'd better hope those nuts settle well. If the mayor gets any tummy trouble after eating your disgusting pocket peanuts, there will be hell to pay. Hey, he appreciates them. The mayor appreciates them. Wait, I never... Now, you see what I mean? Not so much as begging before he dove right for the snacks. I've smelled those peanuts on you since day one, and you never saw me become such an animal over them. Maybe I should have given them to Gretchen. I couldn't at this point, obviously, but I have a feeling she would have been, yeah, like... I don't know, this bit is a perfect use for the peanuts, though. This is the best possible use for them. Good morning, citizen. I don't believe we've met. The fucking stool. This is the... He holds out his paw as if to shake your hand. Shake his paw. It's lovely to meet you, Mr. Mayor. Gretchen's gonna hate this, but this is too good of a bit to not... Like... Yeah. You take his little paw in your hand, but the burly security detail stops you. No paw shaking, only head pats and ear scratches allowed. I must apologize for my security detail. He has my best interests at heart, but he can be a little gruff at times. It doesn't even say Jimmy or Mayor Jimmy, it's just the mayor. Aren't you Deputy Franklin? Not when I'm off duty. Security goon. Ugh. The mayor scoffs. Off duty. The services you render for me are more important than your police work. I would agree. I knew he'd be a dog. And what bearing does that have on the... Oh no, I have offended the mayor. Oh, did Tabby ruin it for you? This town has had a dog as mayor since the early 1900s. That's just how we do things around here for some reason. It's the best part of living in Scarlet Hollow, besides the nature. And all my friends, and Winnie's Biscuits. Oh, and the close-knit small-town community, of course. But having a dog mayor is a close fit, no contest. Is there something I could help you with? You're not one of my constituents. I'd like to make sure I spend plenty of time with the voters. You still haven't found Duke's body. What are you even doing here? Like I said, I'm off duty, and I don't make a habit of discussing official police business with out-of-town. You fucking pinned this on me. You have... And especially not with sufficient out-of-towners. No, let's hear the stranger out. Tourism is part of this town's lifeblood, after all. Hey, Lilac hasn't done anything wrong. I was there. Yeah, lay off her. This discussion is over. Both of you. Now meet the mayor like a good citizen and move along. Gretchen, should I tell him? Gretchen says you're a lowlife. Oh no. Watch it. Ah, Miss Gretchen. What must I do to earn your loyalty? I'll settle for nothing less than you stepping down from office. There's something very serious going on in town. We need your help. Murmurs stir in the crowd behind you as you relay the danger to the mayor. Of course, the pet disappearances. I've been made aware of the situation. But what do you expect me to do about it? It's autumn. That's tourist season in Scarlet Hollow. I can't turn away the lifeblood of this town, not with the mine faltering the way it is. There was a mine collapse last night. We don't need any more news of disaster coming out of Scarlet Hollow. Do you understand? You know, you're very well spoken. I can see how you got elected. It's not just fancy words that get you elected, human. It's hard work, dedication, and that unspoken charisma that carries a true leader to victory. Scraps and Daisy put up a good fight, but I just had something they lacked. The humans knew it, the dogs knew it, well, most of the dogs. There are still a few hearts I never won. His gaze focused briefly on Gretchen, who huffily turns away. I've heard just about enough from you, Jimmy. Look at you, putting on a show in front of your adoring fans while the dogs of this town are snatched up by monsters in the woods, hoping the humans will clean it all up for you. When are you finally going to do something meaningful for the hairier citizens of Scarlet Hollow? No, Miss Gretchen, there's no need. Scraps would never have let those things prowl the woods for so long. And yet you sit back waiting for the humans to notice and letting more innocent dogs suffer. You know, I almost lost my life to those things the other night, and my goodness, haven't you heard about the poor Duke? Now, Gretchen, a lot of those were old dogs. It's fair of me to assume they simply went to the big farm upstate. Jesus Christ! Don't you dare talk to me about old dogs. Tell your dog is yelling at the mayor. Wow, really? Oh, I'm sure she must have a good reason. Scraps would have been out in those woods at the first sign of trouble, tearing out the throats of any creatures who dared threaten the dogs of Scarlet Hollow. Yet here he is, posing for the little rectangles like nothing is wrong in this town. Okay. Well, I don't want her to actually fight him. Gretchen squirms in Saul's arms, straining to get at Mayor Jimmy. Hey, whoa, Gretchen, calm down, old girl. You're gonna pull a muscle. Mr. Franklin, I think now's a good time to dispose of this riffraff. Miss Richmond, I'm gonna have to ask you and your dog to step away from the mayor. I should have known better. These two have never been able to get along. Lily, you've got to fill me in on their feud later. I've always been curious about why Gretchen gets so fussy near Mayor Jimmy. Oh, I should 100% tell her. I think that would be hilarious. Stella walks off, still struggling to hold Gretchen as she shouts insults back at Jimmy. Ingrate, ne'er-do-well, you dog. Kanika is quick to follow. Follow them. Oh my god, this is the best bit. This is the best fucking part of the game so far. Fuck all the mystery stuff. Well, don't fuck all the mystery stuff, because the mystery stuff is actually very interesting, and I do love that. But goddamn, this is the funniest part of the game. Oh my god, I really, really liked that bit. How serious the game played that. Hey? The fuck are you? Hard to put a finger on it, but something compels you to dislike him. Wow. Sounds like old Gretchen and the mayor may have some unresolved issues, wouldn't you say? Who the fuck are you? Why are you talking to me? I'm Pastor Daniel. I take it you're Lilac. Everyone's been buzzing about you. Oh, you're the guy that, what's her face? Janie? Janie, right. Yeah, Janie. I'm sorry about your aunt, but I'm sure she's in a better place now. I doubt Perline's in a better place. Sounds like she was awful. No, I'm sure she wasn't that bad. Most people are good. Deep down inside, it's best not to speak ill of the dead. I don't trust you. I mean, the music's playing all weird. When you came in, Janie mentioned you this morning. That woman is the light of my life. I'm so glad she's here to help your cousin through this rough patch. But do you know anything about ghosts? Ghosts? I've never encountered one myself, but I have heard stories of folks who have been visited by their loved ones from beyond the grave. And it seems like it provides them with a sort of spiritual healing. Like their beloved relatives are watching over them even in death. Is this about Perlan, or perhaps about your mother? Have you been visited by her? Never mind. Okie dokie then. Gretchen says she didn't vote for the mayor. Just tell this random guy I just met if Gretchen says she didn't vote for the mayor. That's very funny. Now that I'm actually thinking of that. Richard says she didn't vote for the mayor. Pastor goes quiet for a second. His face suddenly wet as a sheet. The smile fades from his face as he stares at you intensely, studying your expression. I'm concerned. What about that sentence was... You too? What? Can he talk to animals too? He glances to either side before continuing. I thought I was the only one. Please come visit me at the church soon. Seems like we might have a lot to talk about. So you can talk to animals too. He hurries off, suddenly quiet and serious. Nothing to do now but catch up with your companions. I'm curious about that. Oh, hello. I heard from Milan what happened. Oscar, I'm so sorry. I guess he's back in town now. Poor Rosalina. I can't even imagine how scary this has been for her. She seems in high spirits right now, but they've got her on some pretty strong pain medication. So I'm not sure how she's gonna feel when that wears off. And it was the whole foot? Yeah, it's bad, but she's alive. We'll both be able to move on from this. We just have to get through the tough parts first. And we're here for you. Thank you, all of you. Everything feels like it happened so fast. I know our whole lives have changed, but it's taking my mind a little bit to catch up. You look such a mess. I hope it isn't keeping me from being the dad she needs right now. I'm sorry to cut our conversation short, but I'd better get going. I was only supposed to come back to pick up a few things, but then the hospital called and said there'd been some big bus accident on the highway, and they needed beds, so I have to come pick her up. Even though her house is still haunted and the only place she can lie down until then is the dirty back room that drove her away in the first place, and Mayor Jimmy Day is happening. Sorry. I'm just a little overwhelmed. It's okay, Oscar. We're here to help. Yeah, we're gonna get that ghost. You'd always go ahead and do a ghost bust or whatever we're calling it while you're out, and she'd be able to go right back to her old room as soon as she got back. It's probably a good idea, right? If only, but it doesn't come out during the day. We go in there in the night then. So any busting attempts are gonna have to wait until nightfall. Oh, this is gonna be spooky. I'm excited for this. I'm not even sure we can get rid of it at all. I think I'd have to see for myself that it was gone. It managed to trick me a couple of times, and I can't handle any more surprises right now. I've got every ghost hunting device known to man. You're in good hands, Oscar. Don't worry, Oscar. We'll fix this. Heck yeah, we will. Yeah, whatever this is, we'll get to the bottom of it tonight. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. I'm heading out. It should be dark by the time we get back, so I suppose I'll see y'all then. Oscar hurries off, car keys jingling as he jogs out the door. Let's head up to Reese's. Maybe we can get him to come ghost hunting with us. You're not gonna try to get Dr. Kelly to let him leave the house, are you? She'll kick us out for even asking. I wonder if he even knows what happened last night. I don't know how disconnected he is from the news around town. Jeez, should we tell him? Gosh, I don't know. Maybe if we just play it by ear. Anyway, shall we? Time to go. I didn't skip one, did I? No, I didn't skip one. Yeah, okay. So, about the mayor. I kind of want to bring up the mayor again just because that whole thing is so fucking funny to me still. Right, you seem to have some choice words for him. He's corrupt. That dog cares more about tourist money than protecting the town. Does Scarlet Hollow even get tourists? Kanika laughs. We get a few. Who all come to see the mayor? The plot thickens. So I finally met Pastor Daniel. Maybe they can give me more information on it, because I am still... I'm curious about Pastor Daniel with the whole thing of, like, apparently you can talk to animals too, seemingly. It was only a matter of time until he tried to pull you aside about grief counseling. When my dad died, I had to ban him from the general store for a week. Jesus Christ, what? He wouldn't stop leaving these little pamphlets at the checkout. I don't know where he finds them. Me and Jane keep trying to make me go to church. Yeah, not a lot of people go to church around here. It's not like folks in this town aren't Christians, but he's so creepy. No one wants to sit in the pews in that rundown old church and listen to that guy. Huh. Looks like I was running through the entirety of my dad's funeral. What a cool. And I don't mean that in a stigmatizing mental illness kind of way. There's just this little siren that goes off every time I see him that tells me to get away from him. That's exactly how I would describe it too. The whole town feels the same way. Now that I think about it, he must be pretty lonely. He can look for friends somewhere else. Should we invite Avery ghost hunting? Ooh, I wonder if they would come. That's an interesting option. I wonder if Tabitha would come. Would she? I don't know if she would be interested. Especially with her having the whole mining thing. Like, even if they said yes to me asking her to come, and I did ask her to come, I don't know if she would say yes. I wonder if the pastor's cursed. I wonder if the pastor's cursed. I felt something odd when he came up to me, and the way Everett dislikes him seems excessive. Unnaturally excessive. I know this is weird coming from me, but not everything in town has to be spooky for supernatural reasons. Sometimes people just give off bad vibes. Yeah, also fair. Yeah. Agreed. We're allowed to dislike him even though he hasn't done anything wrong. That we know of. Should we invite Avery to go ghost hunting? Oh. Huh. Sure, I guess. The more the merrier, right? Maybe there'll be an extra voice of reason. We won't be much help to Oscar if we start jumping at our own shadows. Cool, I'll text them on the way over to Reese's. I don't think Tabitha would be a good idea, again. Especially, like, first of all, there's clearly some awkwardness between her and Stella. And then also, again, clearly her and Kanika have issues with each other. Then I don't want to make both of their days worse by... head to Reese's. Alright, shall we head out? Again, though, I would really like more options to hang out with Tabitha. I guess I did have the option earlier, but I chose not to. But also, again, I am interested to have more time to hang out with Tabitha, but not at the cost of hanging out more with Stella, because she's my favorite character of the game. She is my favorite character so far. The three of you leave the library for an early dinner at Reese's. You once again find yourself in front of Reese's house. A cold... Oh, fucking accidentally clicked. Cold hesitation grips you as the building looms over the hilltop. Great. Great. Love to know that my character is not feeling very good about this. Interesting. Though it's only early afternoon, it feels much later, the sun already sinking behind the tall mountains that surround Scarlet Hollow. We're a little early. What if Dr. Kelly yells at us? There's no such thing as early when you're hanging out with friends. That's just extra time you get to spend together. Okay, but what if she yells at us? Oh, hello. It's too late. The door swings open. Hello, Reese. Huh. I'm so interested to learn more about him. Hey. Reese. Oh my god, dude, it's been ages. You must be Lilac, right? I've heard a lot about you. Stella's been relentless about making sure I got all the Lilac updates. Goodness gracious, there's something that smells terribly off about that boy. Get away from my Stella, you fiend. Odd. Gretchen doesn't like him. I'm interested in why. Because presumably, well no, how long has Stella owned Gretchen? I was gonna say presumably Gretchen would know Reese from like when they hung out in high school, but did Stella have Gretchen back then? Gretchen starts yelping at Reese, straining against Stella's grip as she tries to get between them. Are they here already? Hi, Kelly. I need to show up early, Stella. And you brought the dog. Great. Yeah, I thought she might cheer Reese up. I don't know what's gotten into her all of a sudden. The dog stays outside. Hell no, not with the fucking... Do not leave the dog outside. The ditchlings are around. At least, if you don't... If for whatever reason you don't want the dog around Reese, at least have, like, maybe you have an empty room in the house or something that Gretchen can go into or something. That she could at least hang out in that is not outside. I don't feel good about leaving her out with the ditchling. It's okay, Stella. We can let her chill in my van for a bit. Okay, in the van. That's marginally better. I'll run the AC and leave her some treats. You know I always have some of those easy chew dog jerky stashed away. The gall, the gumption. This is a violation of my rights. I really hope Gretchen ends up okay. We go everywhere together. Do you want to come in or not? Okay, fine. I fucking hope Stella's okay. Or, not Stella. I hope Gretchen's okay. She's the one hanging out here with the ditchlings. Kanika nervously tugs Stella away towards her van. You keep her safe from that monster, Lilac, you hear? You don't let a feather of harm fall on my darling Stella. Keep her away from that monster. Why? Okay, what is going on with Gretchen and Reese? Well, what about you, Lilac? Are you coming in? I'll wait for Stella and Kanika. Fine. A quiet says as you wait for Stella and Kanika to come back from the van. Okay, we're back. Great, let's get this over with. The house feels cold. Not only is there an odd chill in the air, but the building itself feels too sterile. Uncomfortably tidy to the point where you're nervous to touch anything. If it weren't for the aroma of store-bought dinner rolls baking in the oven and the unsettling artwork hanging on the walls, you'd be half convinced you'd wandered into a real estate showing. So, how can I lend a hand? By sitting down at the table and not puttering around in my kitchen. I made sure everything was done well in advance, so the only thing left are the rolls, which shouldn't be long. Then we can have a quick dinner and you can leave my house and go on about your business. I was kind of hoping to see Reese's new art. We still have time now, right? You're not seriously considering subjecting your friends to your disaster of a room, are you? It's not that bad. You can still see the floor. Dr. Kelly raises a single questioning eyebrow. I don't mind a little mess. Yeah, I doubt it could be any worse than the way I keep my room. That's okay, fine. As long as you stay out of the kitchen, I don't care what you get up to. Cool. We'll just be downstairs. You won't even know we're here. The basement is what you might expect out of a tortured artist who spends all his time confined to his studio. Discarded canvases line its edges, while trash and sketches leak out from their piles in the corners of the room, hiding the bare cement floor. Foolish faces coat the walls in paint, sneering out at their creator. Fucking good artwork, honestly. Your mom is so scary. She can be a little intense. Kind of overprotective, which I guess makes sense. I wonder if Stella and Kanika knows what's going on with Reese. Or if it's just me that's in the dark on it. Or if they also don't know anything about Reese's condition. Anyway, make yourselves comfortable. You'll have to forgive the mess. I've been distracted lately, haven't been cleaning much. Oh, really looks out for you. That's one way to look at it, I guess. Possible she's gotten a bit of an edge lately. I think my condition has been stressing her out a lot. Used to be something she thought she could fix, but I think she's kind of accepted that's just something we have to manage. Huh. Even if she is a little harsh, she means well. It's like you said, she's just looking out for me. Is she? I'm gonna flirt. Immediately just flirt. No, I'm kind of more particularly interested on my first playthrough romantic style. Maybe I'll romance Reese in another playthrough. She's kind of hot. I guess Kanika has a point though. She's a little controlling. Kind of is, honestly. I guess Kanika has a point though. She's a little controlling. Did you know she turned us away yesterday? She said we couldn't even talk to you. You came by yesterday? She didn't tell me. I was probably asleep, that's all. She won't wake me up. I don't think that's her being controlling or anything. I think I have some doubt on that, but she did say I couldn't bring you any food. She knows that's how I show my friends how much I appreciate them. And she knows I can work around all kinds of allergies and intolerances. Not gonna lie, it felt weird. I do agree. I don't know, my body is pretty particular when it comes to food. She just prefers to have full control over what I eat, so... okay, maybe that does sound controlling. Yeah. But it's for a good reason. If I eat the wrong thing, it could really mess me up. So she has to regulate me. Oh, no. So Stella told you about everything that's happened the past couple of days? Every detail. I wish I could see some of it myself, but you know. He gestures in futility towards the walls of the basement. Are you sure you can't just sneak out one of these nights? The doc isn't keeping me prisoner here, Stella. I'm sick, you know that. I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to. There's nothing to apologize for. I appreciate the effort, really, I do. There's just nothing you can really rescue me from. That die's already been cast. But we're talking about the past couple of days, weren't we? You have any thoughts on the ditchlings we've been seeing? Yeah, they've been coming up to my window at night. Oh, holy shit, that's... Okay. I guess he's been seeing them as well. Which makes sense, they do seem to live out by the woods. Well, this entire town is small, it's kind of all by the woods, but, you know, some parts of it are closer to the center of town, a bit further away. Wait, really? Is that why you texted me that they looked like something out of your nightmares? Yeah. I thought I was hallucinating. I hadn't put it together that we might have been seeing the same thing until just now. I've been sketching them, actually. Tell me what you think. Oh, is that? Yeah, I was gonna say, that does kind of sound look similar to the ditchlings. Unless that's not the specific art he's talking about and he's about to show another piece of art. But I was gonna say, this kind of looks like them. Okay, no, never mind. It's a different piece of art. The other one kind of reminded me of that, too. So. He pulls out a sketchbook from one of the piles in his room. Okay, that's exactly what I saw on my way home last night. What does it mean that they've been lurking around here, though? I don't know. But I like the company. They're kind of beautiful in a sad way, if you ask me. Agree to disagree with you there. Those things are gonna be stuck in my nightmares until the day I die. What do you think of my cousin? He was always so distant and mean. I probably would have thought she had it out for me personally if she wasn't like that towards everyone. Or if I thought she even knew my name. But people change. Maybe she's nicer now. She's still terrible. You guys just never took the chance to get to know her. She's actually really funny and sweet. I'll pass, thanks. You think the town is doomed? I think everything is probably doomed at some point. But I guess that's answering a different question. Do I think the town of Scarlet Hollow is on the brink of collapse? Probably not, but it's not like I have a lot of perspective on what it's like out there. There could be rioting on Main Street, and if Stella or the doc didn't tell me, I just wouldn't know. I would totally tell you if there was a riot. Would Dr. Kelly tell you, though? I mean, yeah, I'd hope so, but the point I'm trying to make is that other people are my eyes out there. What do you think's going on with Wayne? You? Oh, do you not know who Wayne is? You know, that guy who's been following Lilac around, being all ominous. Oh yeah, that slasher creep. I appreciate the classic Jason vibe he has going on. Here's hoping he doesn't live up to the look, for all our sakes. The whole situation's gotta be rough, sorry. Thanks, but I've been dealing with this thing for a while, so you don't have to feel sorry for me. I've come to terms with the way the rest of my life is going to be. You're so macabre, Reese. You make it sound like you've been sentenced to death. You haven't, right? Not exactly. No one really knows what's wrong with me, but it's been getting worse. I can barely keep most food down. My skin always itches like there are worms crawling underneath it. It could live for a long time or a short time, no one's sure. But I'm definitely not going to get better. Whatever time I have left is going to be miserable. So I've done my morning. My best years are behind me. My future is unknowable, but one day I'll wind up in a pine box just like everyone else, and I'm okay with that. Damn, Reese. I may be a goth, but that's some real nihilistic shit. We'll make sure to come by more often from here on out. Friendship heals all wounds, right? Thanks, guys, but you really shouldn't worry about me. I have my urt. I'm doing fine, really. There must be something the doctors can do for you. Even if it's just helping you deal with the symptoms. The doc upstairs has consulted with a lot of specialists. I've tried a lot of medications. Sure, some have been able to alleviate my symptoms, but they always come with their own fun side effects. so he can manage some of the symptoms with medication. It wound up being a question of picking what set of discomforts I wanted to deal with. I settled on constant nausea and vomiting and a persistent itch I can't scratch. It's manageable. As long as I can feel pain, I don't care. And hey, it isn't all bad. Sometimes it's just weird. Like this. That. Boss? Or just long, sharp fingernails? But... Alright. I didn't see your fingers before. Okay, you weren't showing your... Reese pulls the skin on his arm, it stretches unnaturally. Hyperelasticity. Kinda cool, right? Whoa. Did that not hurt? I guess it might, since he wasn't... I thought he was showing his fingers out specifically by raising his hands. Maybe it's just sharp fingernails, and not necessarily claws. They do certainly seem a bit colored differently than usual fingernails, but that also might be just game style. I don't know. Maybe it is just sharp fingernails. Maybe he just has longer and sharper fingernails. No, but it feels fine. Like I said, it gets itchy under the skin sometimes, but I don't know if that's the elasticity, the medicine, or some other part of my condition. Alright. Each piece exudes a sickening miasma. It's like you can feel something squirming behind the paint, brushstrokes acting as steel bars trapping some anguished being within. Feel the emotions you put into these. The writhing just behind the paint, radiating pain and anguish. I know what you mean. I feel it too. I am curious, does everyone have, like, some traits from the thing, or at least do a lot of... Because I remember the priest guy specifically, like, seeming to also be able to talk to animals. Does he also have mysticism or something? When I'm working on them, it's like I'm channeling whatever's plaguing me into the paint. Okay, maybe not. Maybe it's not like he can feel them by looking at the paintings like I can. It's more just like he feels those emotions while he's painting, and so he channels those into... It might just be that. I might be reading into that a bit more. Just, I'm kind of like trying to... I feel like it's just because of the revelation that priest guy can also talk to animals. So I'm wondering if, like, do other characters have different traits as well? When I'm working on them, it's like I'm channeling whatever's plaguing me into the paint. And when they're done, I feel like I've been emptied out and all the vile things inside of me have been sealed away in the canvas. That's why I make so many of them. Sometimes when I return to a piece, it's almost like I'm offering an invitation for those feelings to slither back under my skin. There are some pieces I can't even look at. I hide them until I forget they exist. I'd rather not let those particular feelings back in. Sounds kind of like therapy? That seems healthy, probably. Yeah, art therapy. Sounds like it does you good. Being empty must be better than being full of bad thoughts, right? I think so. It works for me, at least. Collection? Let me think. Oh, have you heard of Shinochi, Deathblood? I saw that for the first time recently and it blew me away. Excellent sample of both Japanese horror and found footage done right. We could even put it on after dinner if you guys are interested. Found footage stuff is fun. Damn, I would usually be down for that, but we've got to head over to Oscar's after this. We promised we'd ghost bust his place. He's apparently been dealing with a bad haunting. And I feel like we should really be there for him tonight, considering everything that's happened. He and Rosalina both need our support right now. So you three go way back, huh? Almost to the room. The school here is a tiny K-12, not exactly a one-room schoolhouse, but not far from it. We're lucky we all got along as much as we did. Some kids weren't able to make any friends their own age. They just happened to be born around the same time as some real jerks and were stuck with them through their whole school career. Poor kids. Not that we were free from dealing with jerks, like a certain Scarlet I could name. Okay, she was a little rough around the edges, but she was pretty friendly when you get past that. Maybe to you. The way she used to look at me, you'd think I rolled in something foul every morning before school. Same here. Though to be fair, the feeling was more mutual between us. She deserved it, though. Someone to post her paintings this week? That's so kind of you to offer. If you're okay with hanging out at weird hours, I'd love for you to come by and sit with me. It'd sit for me. It's been a long time since I was able to draw anyone but myself, and I'd really appreciate the company. Maybe we could all come. Wouldn't that be fun? Wanna come ghost hunting with us tonight? Oh wow, do you think you'd be down for that? We'd love to have you. That would be so amazing, but I haven't had the best luck leaving the house lately. Even just walking to town is enough to put me in bed for a week. It sucks. But make sure you bring your camera, Stella. I want to see everything that happens. Reese's mom shouts from the kitchen. Dinner's on the table. Yes, that's it for catching up. Make sure to wash your hands with soap. I don't want anyone sharing their germs. Sure thing, Doc. Yes, ma'am. You make your way toward the sink, but are stopped in your tracks by the pull of an odd door at the end of the hallway. Oh. Maybe don't go snooping. Maybe don't. Don't want to get kicked out. Feels out of place, like you've accidentally wandered into a different, older house. But more than that, you feel something radiating out from behind it. Something dark and cold. What the fuck? You felt this before in the dusty tunnels you so narrowly escaped last night. An oppressive hum, like a muted scream heard through layers of rock, trying to draw you towards it. You feel lightheaded. Maybe I should, maybe don't go snooping. Oh, okay, I guess I don't have a choice. I was gonna say, if we're gonna get fucking kicked out. You were compelled to approach the door, drawn in as if hypnotized. And especially, I was trying to at least get on Dr. Kelly's good side. Now I have a feeling this is gonna very much not do that. Unless she doesn't notice. Maybe she won't notice me snooping. Something wants you to find it. Open the door, open the door, open the door. Oh my god. Is there gonna be one option that's like... not open the door? Snap yourself out of it. Oh, I could. Ah, but I'm curious. But also I could. Before you know it, the doorknob is turning in your hand. Your heart full of both deep dread and a compulsive need to know what might be on the other side. What do you think you're doing? Oh, okay. Well, dark presence lies behind this door. Can't you feel it? Maybe that'll at least convince her not be as annoyed by me looking around. But also she probably would still be anyways, regardless of the answer I give. That's called a draft, and there's nothing dark about it. It's just cold air. Now stop being weird and wash your hands already. Everyone's waiting on you. Can I wash my hands and not return to the door? You won't let her interrupt you. You need to put... Oh my god. You need to know what's behind the door. Oh no, you don't. Come wash your hands and... Come on, wash your hands and sit down. She grabs you by the shoulder, yanking you away. You do as she says, cleaning up under her watchful eyes and allowing yourself to be ushered back to the table and away from the door. Okay, good. I was mainly worried we would get kicked out and I would end this time meeting Reese early. But that didn't seem to happen. Oh, she's giving me a death stare now. Dinner's already laid out. Dinner rolls, spaghetti, and a light salad. Janika anxiously picks up her food. Stella is talkative, and Reese is suddenly quiet and tense, his shoulders tight as his mother perches on the chair next to his. Dr. Kelly eyes all of you with a sharp, fierce gaze. She sits opposite you at the far head of the table, her features silhouetted against the light of the setting sun in the window behind her. Pills. She slides a few tablets toward Reese. He obediently swallows them. This is excellent, Dr. Kelly. Is the pasta sauce homemade? No, it's from a jar. I work too many hours to make my own pasta sauce. Well, you have excellent taste in brands, and if you ever want any tips on easy home-cooked pasta sauces, you know it. No thanks, Stella. I have the internet if I need recipes. Alright. Thanks again for having us, Dr. Kelly. Really appreciate it. Talented artist. I feel like that's the least, the least likely to cause tension. He has a lot of skill, honed through practice and education. I can't say I understand a lot of his pieces, but of course I'm proud. Thanks, Doc. Just another unfortunate side effect of his illness. Both of us have just had to come to terms with it. It's not the life I wanted for him, but it's the life he has to lead. Maybe he doesn't have to. She's got it right. Oh, jeez, Kanika, your boots are heavy. Sorry, Dr. Kelly, we're totally respectful of Reese's boundaries, even though they might seem a little arbitrary and strict. Isn't that right, Stella? You can kick me all you like. It won't change my bold attitude and outgoing personality. You know, Doc, I feel pretty okay. I don't think having people over is all that rough on me. We'll see how you feel in an hour. He has a combination of genetic diseases that give him a fragile immune system, among other things. It's too much to get into. A lot of technical terms that I'd have to explain. It's not good dinner talk, and it can't be pleasant for him to have to hear it again. So let's drop it. Fair. I'm fine talking about it. Okay, never mind. He's fine talking about it, so never mind. Not fair. Fucking... let him have his own opinions and boundaries. Oh, wait, what? I'd rather we talk about something else. You feel the tension at the table start to... I had a feeling that would cause more tension at the table. I was right about that. Does no one in this town have two parents? I feel like I can leave that one, because... implement this together. Maybe try and lower tension a bit. A bit. After... I don't usually have to cook for so many people. I'm just glad there's enough for everyone. It reminded me of what it used to be like when these two would come over. Hungry teenagers eating me out of house and home. I should have charged your parents for all the food you kids went through, honestly. It was like I was running a restaurant, not a doctor's office. Okay, that seemed to make things marginally better. But we're still in Kanika like as kids. Noisy and messy, like all kids. And they always had those little projects, videos or crafts or animal rescues, whatever it was that captured their imaginations that week. So like I said, noisy and messy. Didn't we bring a dead squirrel into your house once? Oh god, not the squirrel. I remember that squirrel. Didn't you think the doc could Frankenstein it back to life or something? I was like 12. I was very susceptible to what I saw in media, and very sad about that squirrel. That's one of those things that keeps me up at night. I still feel guilty about bringing that thing into your house, Dr. Kelly. I'm just glad you didn't make it a habit. How old do you know Tabitha? Not very. I know her a lot better if your family didn't seem to be so afraid of doctors. I can count on one hand the number of times she's been in my office. No wonder everyone but that old Edwardine died so young. Hopefully your mother was better about taking you to doctor's visits. I wouldn't be surprised if there was something genetic at play, and it's much better to catch those things early. I didn't want me poking around the... this is gonna raise tensions again, but I am intensely curious. I didn't want to poke around the clinic. Because... oh, hold on. You seemed awfully guarded about me checking out that door. Because it's closed. Doctors don't usually just let people wander around their clinics. Of course, Dr. Kelly, we would never. I'm sure Lilac is just joking. Right, Lilac? You know, I can't say I ever felt drawn to the place before, but the secrecy is starting to make it feel awfully compelling. Stella, don't you think of getting any ideas from Lilac? No one is playing hide-and-seek in my private offices. Not today, not ever. Not like she doesn't need any more bad influences. Yeah, but what if it's haunted? The place was built out of an old Civil War hospital, right? It was a TB clinic, too. Double haunted. I can't believe I never went ghost hunting here. Are you sure you don't want us to check it out? We'd have a whole bunch of extra experience after tonight. It's not haunted. Now drop it. You see any weird hairless creatures scurrying around in the woods at night? I don't tend to go wandering in the woods after dark, so no. You don't have to go all the way to the woods. They've been coming to our windows at night. They've been... what? Oh, she hasn't been seeing them, but... yeah. There are these things called ditchlings, and they've been preying on the local wildlife, and... Lilac and I found a whole nest of them the other night when we... oh, I see. They're some of your little cryptozoological creatures. I know it sounds pretty out there, but I've seen these things in person. We're not messing around. They're out there laying eggs in animals and doing God knows what else. And here I thought you finally managed to get an even head on your shoulders. Can you get... she doesn't believe us. Seems like Stella might be a bad influence on you. I know her little stories can be convincing, but that's only because she's managed to so thoroughly convince herself. She's not making up stories. Neither is Kanika, and neither am I. All you have to do is look outside after dark. There have been more every night. They're all pale and doughy, and their faces, they're like sculptures of humans that didn't set right. I see. You stayed up too late painting your grisly faces, so you started to see them everywhere. I'm sure whatever is outside, it's just raccoons or... Stop doubting everything I say. Stop trying to rewrite things I tell you to fit what you think should be true. Yeah, fair. I mean... he's kind of right, yeah. There's weird shit going on in Scarlet Hollow, whether you want to face it or not. Aside from Reese's mom staring down the table, nobody is making eye contact with anyone else. Have you seen any sick animals lately? Have you? Have you seen the ditchling? Attacked animals? I'm a doctor, not a vet. Yeah, fair. Yeah, also. Didn't someone come in with a sick cow last week? Yes, but not like I examined the thing. I told them what I just told you and set them on their way. You said it had lumps. Oh. Sure, it had lumps, but I assumed it was suffering from some cow disease. It's not something I've done much research on. I don't know how normal it is for a cow to be covered in lumps. Doesn't that sound like ditchlings? Are no farm animals safe from their devious clutches? Dr. Kelly, instead of footage, it looked like there was something pupating inside of one of Duke's chickens. I bet those were the lumps on the cow. You really should have taken a look. You could have made discoveries previously unknown to the scientific world. Or I could have spread some new horrible disease to my chronically ill son. I'll leave these discoveries to someone else. The more you talk, the less you feel like you're having a conversation, the more you feel like you're treading on the eggshells. I have felt like that the entire time. I've been picking my dialogue options carefully. You know Sam Wayne? Sam Wayne? Dr. Kelly takes a moment to think. No, it doesn't ring a bell. Someone you know? So she doesn't know Wayne either. Someone who's been following Lilac around. Super mysterious guy. We have reason to believe he might have caught some kind of weird illness at the mines. He definitely looks like he could use medical help, so please let us know if he shows up or anything. If there's someone harassing you, you should get the police involved. This isn't any of my business. Have there been any strange illnesses spreading around town? What? No. Are you sure you haven't met with any miners who had unusual symptoms? Anyone who seemed sort of drippy or strangely ominous when they talked? Sorry to pry, just doing my due diligence. Absolutely not. I've barely seen so much as a runny nose, which is a good thing. If you're so concerned about the mine, why don't you just have Lilac ask Tabitha? I have no interest in violating HIPAA for your weird little investigation into nothing. Where were you last night when Rosalina got hurt? I'm a doctor, not an EMT. Also, yeah, that one is, yeah. That's why I was kind of hesitant on asking that, because, like, her foot had to be removed. She's a doctor, not necessarily, like, someone who's gonna be prepared to do an amputation on someone. Once she's back in town, I expect we'll be seeing a lot of each other. She won't be the first amputee I've treated, so at least I have some experience. The poor kid, it's gonna be a tough adjustment. I just hope I can be helpful to her. Poor Rosalina. I think she'll be just fine. Oscar said she seemed in high spirits. Pain meds will do that. The tension at the dinner table reaches a breaking point. Alright, that's enough. Dr. Kelly is interrupted by Reese before she can finish her thought. So, we were talking about maybe watching a movie sometime this week while Lilac is still in town. We'll have to see how you're feeling. I can handle a movie, dog. Yeah, but just sit downstairs in the dark. Reese is used to that. I'm sure he'll be okay. You're always overestimating how much you're able to do, Reese. This is why you keep getting sick. If I get sick, so what? It's not like that's ever going to change. I'm sick every day, and I'm not getting better. I don't want to spend the last few miserable years of my life holed up in the basement alone just because seeing my friends has been deemed too strenuous. I'm an adult, for God's sake. I can't believe I have to ask for permission from my mom just to have friends over. Reese stops mid-sentence, wincing in pain and wrapping himself in his arms. Yeah. I mean, he was kind of right, but, like, I can get both sides. She's definitely being, like, I can see why she's, like, worried about him, but also, like, she's definitely being a bit, like, a little bit controlling. Definitely controlling. Don't say things like that. I'm doing everything I can to try and fix. Silent as Dr. Kelly's eyes shoot open. Reese? What's happening? What's happening? Reese abruptly pulls himself from the table and leaves. Damn it, I knew it. I knew this would be too much. Are we sure it's from us being over? Everyone get out of my house, please. Just leave us alone. Stop trying to interfere with his life. All it does is hurt him more. But we can't just leave him like this. Now is when he needs his friends the most. No, now is when he needs me the most. I am his doctor and his mother. I know you care about him, I know that, and he knows it too. But all any of you would do is get in the way. So just leave. Please. Yeah, wait, do we? I don't care what you think. I just want you out so I can take care of my son. Alright. I was really interested in finding out, like, what's going on, I guess. We'll be back, Reese. I hope you feel better soon. Dr. Kelly shuts the door in your faces. The click of a lock signals the end of your dinner at Reese's. The door to the clinic felt like it had the same pull on me as the carving in the mines. Dude, do you think something's back there? Yeah, I definitely do. Another one of those carvings is somewhere in there, I'm certain of it. Okay, that'd be really weird. If we find it, do you think you'd get another vision? I'm just spitballing here, but I wonder if what that carving showed you last night is related to the ditchlings. You're not suggesting we go poking around in there, do you? Oh, yes, Stella. Yes. Of course I am. Maybe tomorrow? Maybe we won't find out until tomorrow. God damn it. I wanted to learn this chapter. I guess it'll be another thing to learn next chapter. I am not breaking into Dr. Kelly's clinic based on a bad vibe Lilac got. Only we could. Do you think Reese might have a supernatural affliction? I do wonder. I'm not quite sure about what it could be yet. But also I think... I checked at the dinner table. No one else has even, like, specifically drawn out fingernails. So the long, sharp fingernails were definitely intentional on Reese's character design part. Do you think Reese might have a supernatural affliction? I am wondering that. Like, related to what you felt in there? If he did, why wouldn't Dr. Kelly have it? It makes more sense if he just has a genetic condition, assuming there isn't any foul play. Foul play? The whole thing is just fishy, and after tonight I feel like my fear of Dr. Kelly is a lot more justified than I thought. Yeah, probably. She's just overprotective. I'm sure that's all that's going on. And she has every right to be. I mean, the poor guy took 2 bites of food and got sick immediately. I can't imagine what that's like for both of them to go through. Look, I'm just saying maybe there's more to their dynamic than just him being sick. But it's not like there's much we can do about it right now. We would probably go back and forth on this a while. Let's grab Gretchen and get going. The sun is setting and we wouldn't want to miss a second of Ghost Fit action. Please tell me Gretchen's still there. She hasn't been taken by ditchlings, right? I'm not going to find out. There's not something upsetting isn't going to happen with Gretchen, right? Stella hurries off down the hill, almost as if to run away from what just happened. You and Stella follow her down the slowly darkening street. I am slightly worried with Stella. Like, she does definitely seem to be pushing a lot of stuff down. I feel like that's going to come to a head at some point. She does, clearly she isn't handling anything that's going on well. That's... No. Those are ditchlings, right? That's for sure what those are. Of course. Great, so something shitty is gonna happen. I had a feeling. Oh. But yeah, like, Stella clearly isn't handling anything that's going on well. She's getting more and more exhausted with each day. Like, literally, like, when she opened the door in the, like, morning at the start of the chapter, she had, like, more lines around her eyes. Clearly indicating she hasn't been sleeping well. She's getting more exhausted and just hasn't been dealing with stuff well. I have a feeling that's going to come to a head in the next couple chapters or something. Live by the orange juice of the setting sun, the library feels different. What was once a quaint building in a small town now stands as an imposing structure, its walls holding something that stares back at you with menace. Maybe Kanika is right. Maybe ghosts aren't real, and the rest of tonight is going to be a pleasant break from the events of the past few days. Wishful thinking. But you know that's not the case. There's something old and powerful in there, and you can feel it stir as the sun sets and daylight fades away. Enter the library.